I love that only Stefan, this particular person with this particular consciousness, could have come up with this particular piece of music. And that is the great miracle, that all of us in all of our particularity are yet made of the same atoms. Atoms that were forged in stars that lived and died billions of years ago, and change any variable along that Rube Goldberg machine of causality, and you wouldn't be you. Stefan wouldn't be Stefan. This music wouldn't be this music. And we exist because of gravity, and even though it's the weakest of the fundamental forces, it's the great compactor that made the first atoms cohere around a common core to form the first star, an immense ball of gas, at the center of which was a hydrogen sphere that eventually reached temperatures of millions of degrees, pressures of millions of atmospheres, conditions so extreme that they triggered a brand new event in the history of the cosmos, nuclear fusion. As those early hydrogen atoms were colliding with one another with immense force, they started passing neutrons from one to the other until some became heavier than others, and eventually one ended up with 2 protons, and we got helium, the second element in the periodic table. And as more fusion happened, we got carbon, neon, oxygen, and so forth. Most of the first 26 elements in the periodic table, the stuff of which almost everything we can touch is made, most of them were made in stars in the early universe. And in fact, if you could take any atom from your body and trace it down the whole chain of matter before it became you, your mother's body, the food your mother ate, the soil in which that food grew, the continents that the tides ground down to make that soil, all the way back, you could trace it to the core of a particular star that lived and died billions of years ago. Now, I find that astonishing. And the next poem we're going to hear has to do with how we make everything we make out of these building blocks. To read it for us is someone who has made his life in music, but is one of the most indiscriminately curious people I know, who reads a lot about science, writes about it occasionally. In fact, he's working on a new book called Sleeping Beauties that looks at ideas, both scientific and social, that once came abloom and then were either suppressed or forgotten, only to be rediscovered much later and change our conception of reality. The atom, of course, being one of them, Democritus, suppressed by Aristotle, all the way to Dalton and the dawn of particle physics. He is also what I would call a conscientious objector to the plague of cynicism that's around, that horrible internal warfare of human nature. He is a large-hearted, lucid idealist, and Stardust knows we need those today. Please welcome David Byrne.
Thank you. This poem is called Strings. It's by a woman named Ruth Stone. We pop into life the way particles pop in and out of the continuum. We are a seething mass of probability, and I probably love you. The evil of larvae and the evil of stars are a formula of the future. Some bodies can thrust their arms into a flame and be instantly cured of this world, while others sicken. Why? Think, little brother, like the moon. Spit out like a broken tooth. Oh, groans the world, the outer planets, the fizzing sun, here we come with our luggage. Look at the clever things we have made out of a few building blocks. Oh, fabulous continuum. Thank you.